Hello everyone. This presentation is called The Pyramid Control: Why the Public Doesn't Get MLM Network Marketing and Why They Should. So bear with me as I blow through a bunch of slides and get some main points across. Everyone knows this symbol. This is the Egyptian pyramids. And the pyramid symbolism, it's been used for many civilizations and many hundreds of years, including obviously in architecture. There's also a psychological component of the pyramid symbolism. Basically, the structure and organization of society, how classes of people work together. This picture right here will pretty much sum that up, what I just said, with the king at the top, the lords, the vassals, the knights, the peasants and the serfs, the farmers at the bottom. As you'd probably get by now, that symbolism is a way to encode or show a traditional and some believe an archaic model of how society should work, with all the poor people at the bottom, the people doing more of the menial tasks at the bottom. And then as you move up into this different class structure, you have more responsibility or more authority, going up into politics and other things, military, religion, and at the top, the king. Traditional, model that's been passed on through society. And of course, we changed a lot of that in the Revolutionary Wars, 1776, and winning that, obviously. And yet, so this pyramid structure still exists today, and maybe it exists in your mind even if you don't know it. A lot of people will approach MLM or network marketing, learn about it, and then basically think it's a pyramid scheme or a Ponzi scheme, both things which are basically illegal. And this slide I found did a great job at showing that and relating it to corporate America and to business. And this is what the structure looks like for most business structures in the world today, with the CEO at the top, like that king, the president, the vice presidents. This is the military and the religious class, the clerical class, the professionals in the middle management area and the vice president area, and even the team leaders, supervisors, the middle class people here, and then the blue collar people at the bottom, the hardworking people from around the world, or the American people are right here. And they're in a vehicle that looks like a pyramid, where you're told and sold that you can start at the bottom and make your way up. You're not really told the percentages of that. You're not told that what you need to do really to get there. You're told get a degree to get a good job. You end up finding out lots of the people at the top, they already were born into the right network. Their network marketing is that they were born into the right family, or they were born with the right friends, or born with a money table to have those connections. So, of course, you can climb this pyramid and make it to the top, and use the system if you understand how it works and want to work it. But a lot more people are realizing that's really not what they want. So it's funny when people say, I'll pass on network marketing. Isn't that a Ponzi scheme? Or isn't that a pyramid scheme? Well, the biggest pyramid is what probably the job they're working right now, or the religion that they worship in right now, or the government that they believe in right now. Most institutions depend on a pyramid structure. The old world class hierarchy, the classes are tight as a people. They told to stay in their place, and be organized into economic or social classes. I just covered that with those pictures. As part of that pyramid you saw, there's a need-to-know basis of information sharing. People such as the president and corporate officers at the top, they know more things, they see more things, they try to keep many things secret, of course, to use over the people below them. That's one way you keep power, is that you make sure not everyone has access to all of the knowledge and wisdom and experience that is out there. So they use that power of knowledge or wisdom. They use that power of experience or what they see, and the title itself, and they use that power to enforce rules or make others do things. Society in general is based upon many steps and levels of input to create a major output. Uh, Most people don't have access to the whole picture, of course. Just like the military, not everyone knows. There's a need-to-know basis. In corporate America, of course, relating this to corporate America, division of labor and the scientific management of resources is a key way to do that. There's been many technological events that have threatened this type of pyramid structure in this paradigm, such as direct sales, internet sales, network marketing, of course, and the latest you see in Bitcoin with a whole new currency, an alternative currency outside of the central bankers. Usually, key institutions that profit off the current pyramid structure find a way to stop revolution and revolt, or at least act like they're allowing voices to be heard, but not ever providing a real model for the people to work themselves out of it. And remember 1776. Remember that movie of The Matrix. Remember that people do have a human spirit, and people find a way. Network marketing, multi-level marketing could be a way for some people. In its purest form, network marketing is capitalism. It's direct sales. It's one of the oldest forms and purest forms. It's a buyer and a seller exchanging value. MLM, multi-level marketing, exposed the power of the network effect before the internet did. This was through catalogs, through the mail, through word of mouth. Obviously, the power of referrals is an important marketing technique to spread the word of products. People tend to, want to buy products that are popular or other people use, and a lot of times that has been used through the power of authority. And you have MLM, has gotten a bad reputation over the past because when things get personal, people will plant the seeds of doubt to try to get justice. Corporate America can do this and hurts millions of people on a daily basis. Of course, they help millions of people on a daily basis as well, but they can hurt millions of people and use the power of government to get out of redemption. But the media is less inclined to report, as they are paid by these corporate advertising elite. You're just not going to complain that much when you're getting paid to report on it. So as a result, of course, multi-level marketing, they don't use advertising. Multi-level marketing is word of mouth. They don't use advertising. They use the power of referral and take that extra money and put that into this other paradigm. Whereas the way corporate America works, and most people are living in this daily, that the corporate media that they think is protecting them, or even the local advertising, a lot of times they're not taking up, especially in the last several decades, they're not taking up these important stories and really harping on them to get social or economic justice for the citizens at the bottom of the pyramid. And that's by design, as you can see. Again, here's another pyramid picture to kind of get the point I'm saying. Why would you upset when you're making all this money in the middle part of this pyramid? Why would you upset just to save a few peasants and serfs at the bottom, because they're classes that, even though they have the masses of people, that's what's funny, is the masses of society are built on these people. They're really not adequately protected and or empowered. And so that's the thing people will realize as they go through dealing with business. Can you name one institution or system that doesn't rely on this overt or subtle pyramid power and structure? The higher you go in the pyramid, the more so-called power of authority is conveyed or used onto people to herd people together. Do you want to be the serf, or do you want to be the little king in your kingdom? MLM, network marketing, is a way to do that. Pick your pyramid, basically. So if you ever hear anyone talk about this, or if you yourself are interested in being in a network marketing business, you got to understand the structure is being used already in some form or facet. It's being used. Network marketing, there you are. You're the business person at the top, and then you can sponsor people. And this is where multi-level marketing comes from. You can create basically a way to outsource and duplicate yourself in your sales network. Well, there's the Republican form of government. There's a monarchy, with the prime minister and cabinet and the parliament. There's a standard business with a CEO, manager, like I mentioned before, and there's even a school. It's the same structure. It's a top-down structure. People telling people what to do. People at the top think they know better. Sometimes they get there and they're not any smarter than you are. They're there because of other things and connections and money to begin with, not necessarily looking out for your best interests. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they're in the right vehicle to do that. Sometimes it's a great business. Sometimes it's a network marketing business, and that person is sharing information. In network marketing, though, there's basic multi-level and franchise type rules you follow, but there's no one is putting a gun to your head to tell you to do something or you're going to lose your job. You know what I mean? Are we much different today when you really think about it, in the various forms, religions, the governments we follow at the state, the local, the federal level? all various hierarchies with people with funny looking costumes and hats at the top, or suits or whatever, or little lapel pins, or waving flags, or using all types of other techniques to tell you that they know what's best for you poor peasants. And if you want to get successful, you have to do all this and climb up this corporate ladder or this political ladder and do your time and all these various things. Uh, and don't speak out, or don't do this or don't do that. Are we much different today? The good at multi-level marketing companies, they do deliver a unique product or service along with a product line that is a repeat business, so that the person can make a repeat royalty or residual income. All smart businesses actually work that way. A good MLM is not just about recruiting fees or making money off of nothing created. I can't say the same thing for, say, HR departments in corporate America, staffing agencies, for instance. It's basically a way to make slave labor off people, make a percentage. And of course, the corporate and the corporate banking model of business that makes sure all the excess wealth and the money that's generated off the lower classes of employees and people is scaled up and then siphoned back up to the top of that pyramid, to the top, and the corporate elite and the rich elite. Good MLMs also use the power of referral and the personal testimony. Like I said before, corporations and religions have used this nicely. The power of referral. They also use it with the power of authority, and when they show an expert testimony and they try to personalize things for you and put up, say, you're a superstar athlete to sell a product. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not. The point is that usually it's a good way to sell products, especially when they work. A good MLM is not an illegal pyramid or Ponzi scheme, as I talked about. And I say this tongue in cheek, of course, like I said before, because lots of corporate America and lots of these other structural things like religion are basically they're legalized pyramids. We accept it on a daily basis. Multi-level marketing is a multi-level marketing and network marketing idea. It is indeed, it's a legal business, so it's not illegal at all, but it's very similar in some ways to the legal pyramids. So you just got to chuckle when people say that it's not a valid way, because it has been for several decades, and people become millionaires off this business just like they can do in corporate America. Several corporations, like I say, that are a lot around today, they definitely look like illegal and unethical operations and business schemes, such as central banks and their ability to create infinite fiat money off people without actually delivering a real product or service that actually does create value. It's actually just mostly all perception, and just because of legalese that it actually is worth something. So, banks get their piece no matter what. And the major, global corporations, they can constantly extort subsidies and other backdoor deals and tax breaks, but nobody calls them an illegal pyramid. And a good MLM will allow a person to cheaply and easily start a home-based business outside of a corporate control. It's usually more aligned, like I said before, to a franchising model where you become self-employed and you teach other people to be self-employed and follow this track. So obviously you can learn a lot. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, that book has talked a lot about this. Think about it. No wonder the media has helped to paint MLM a certain way, and that anyone dream of riches to do this is something wrong with them. Or there's a subconscious thing about, well, who's gonna plant the corn, who's going to be the slaves, who's gonna keep society, who's going to work at McDonald's. So we have cognitive dissonance in this society where you can only become a millionaire if you invent a product that is a little bit better than it is today, or if it's within the paradigm, within the corporate paradigm. But if you don't, if you dream too big, you're an outcast. Or if you want to be in network marketing, a lot of people don't get it still. But the point is, you're creating business. So it is funny that corporate America and the structural societies we have, the pyramid power I've talked about, wants to create good consumers and not necessarily people who create businesses and value in other ways. So basically you learn this is a good MLM. It's hard, but it's simple, and it's a self-empowering endeavor. Most MLM companies will focus on sales training and education and product training and self-improvement books to build the character of somebody. That's in direct contrast to most corporately mind-controlled jobs where you're not given that path at all. If you do run into it in corporate America, it would be in these more professional and sales careers where they want you to get into that. You'll get into like a Sandler sales course or something like that. Some of these things go into Six Sigma and all this other stuff, which focuses on basically managing the herd, managing the resources, logistically has nothing to do with the self-empowerment of people, and you're just locked into a system. So again, there is a dumbing down going on. If that's wrong, that some of these MLMs want to actually brainwash people in a positive way, well, so be it. Because you should see the negative brainwashing that goes on in society today. It's just unbelievable. And the last line here you can't see, but the MLM definitely teaches the leverage of time is just as important as money. In teaching people something unique, teaching them, passing on the experience and wisdom and knowledge is something very important. Network marketing works with. And there's scalability and duplication of this. They're powerful concepts in franchising, and it's something entrepreneurs understand how to scale up and how to duplicate yourself and how to get repeat business. The powerful, rich, and elite people use this with the stock market. They use it with their own businesses currently and with the franchising model. So network marketing, you can allow the model to work for you as well. MLMs will allow you to create infinite CEOs, is what I talked about before in that last slide with empowerment. Basically, take on the left, the pyramid structure we talked about, flip it upside down. So while it does have, network marketing has some of the same types of hierarchies that can be involved with traditional hierarchies or pyramids that we all understand and use today and live with, it kind of flips it upside down, because you can work with people and you can create massive wealth very wide, and find people who want to be their own CEO and run a business in sales, in direct sales like this. And there is basically a lot less hoops to go through. It's basically direct effort. Everyone can at least try to be the CEO in this for a very low amount of money, and be able to also take advantage of all the legal tax loops and things, because there are costs. Just like to be an employee, there's a cost to be a business person. So yeah, I guess why would corporate America want anyone to know how to do this stuff? As you can see on the left, they want most people to stay in the bottom. I don't know about you, but are you looking to better yourself and self-empower yourself? This might be a model that will work for you. Most people are consuming like a corporate-owned sheep in the pyramid. I wanted to put this so you could see that if your gut reaction is to, if you were introduced by a product or whatever, whether through me or through somebody else, and you haven't looked at all, don't understand the business model, don't understand the product, you need to understand you might be like this sheep right here. You might be being programmed for all these decades through the media, through the advertising, that this is the only way business is done, when in fact there's many paradigms of the way business are done and created in society. Products and services can flow different ways. Break your conditioning. It's a good thing to buy from your own network. If you cannot buy from a friend or an associate or take a referral from a friend, are you really that friendly and trusting to begin with? Why are you not trusting friends or associates when you're trusting large corporations, like I said before, who spend billions of dollars to brainwash consumers? And that's really what they're doing, guys, on a daily basis, to buy and then use these logical fallacies in your thinking. For instance, hey, this so-and-so actor uses it, so you should use it. Or this expert uses it, who's really not an expert, but you should do it. Perfect example is Bill Gates, an expert potentially on obviously computers, but with his money and everything now he's an expert on global warming. Now he's an expert on GMO foods. Now he's an expert on vaccinations. It's funny, So not saying you can't know about that stuff, but most people never look into it and look into other types of thoughts on a person. They just assume he's an expert in all that. So advertisers will use that, and corporations will use that all the time. So you have to do more research before making a conclusion. 3, people used to do business and deal with people they know in the recent past before the advent of these global super corporations, that I like to call them. And obviously they have a legal goal to enrich the stockholders and make a profit. And they obviously, as we know, if you're reading this, you probably are and watching this, you already understand that a lot of these corporations have done good things, but they've also done a lot of bad things, and they've also abused the government system that we've set up through tax code and other violations. People used to buy from stores down the street, and from door-to-door salespeople, and for direct salespeople, and through phone calls, all that. And to me, it's the corporations that have ruined it. They've used the advertising so much. They've used direct marketing and telemarketing. They've used it so many times. They've now programmed people to be kind of hesitant to stuff, but at the same time to also be way too accepting of needing to buy Nike shoes, needing to buy Microsoft products or Apple products, or IBM products or whatever because of the brand recognition, and it's really not the best products, or might not even be creating the society that we want. MLM is basically just a networked franchise or referral model. Many good people could be selling a good product. Maybe you should give them a chance, at least to listen and understand things. The MLM company, as I said before, they're not paying billions to advertise on TV. So they're not supporting that corporate pyramid model I've been talking about here. Maybe diverting some spending to your family and to associates is just plain smart. And that's, like I said, the way business used to be done. So you know what I feel, MLMs has gotten a bad rap. I think some of it is because it can be downright dangerous and empowering to people. It's obviously dangerous to the corporate structure that we've talked about and the corporate elite, and it could be very advantageous to the small business person and the person in the working class and the person to the middle class who's getting squeezed here and wants to find a way to make some more income and write off some more costs that they're experiencing. So obviously there could be there's class warfare and pyramidal class structure issues like I've talked about. If you're liberty-minded and independent person, this might be something for you. It's based upon people and a mission. Some people can take it too far in the MLM business with their passion and their lack of rationality of whether the products are good or stuff. But then you still need to look in the mirror of yourself if you're attacking that. Are you really a friend? Are you a friendly person? Also, are you already overly programmed to love companies, like I said, like Apple? They use slave labor in China. Did you know that? How about Amazon? They pay workers next to nothing for back-breaking work in distribution facilities right here in America. And also they're going to be using robots, which they already are, to do a lot of this stuff, phasing out jobs, not really supporting American jobs. So you need to pause and think about this stuff. Why do we give these companies a free pass, but not your friend? You need to know why. So think deeply about this type of stuff. Even with obvious negatives not discussed here, the fact is the trends are all in alignment. More and more people will be interested in MLM networks, whether for idealistic reasons, product reasons, such as in the health category, which I work in and whether for money reasons. A good network marketing MLM company will be aware of all these issues, put out a good product, tap into the needs of the future consumer and the business person. The prices and commissions should be relatively fair and not just based upon getting distributors to buy the hype. So you need to deliver, you need to add value. And to sum it all up, network marketing and multi-level marketing directly can provide, in its best form of intention, it can deliver a more personalized experience of the consumption and sales process that provides not just added product value, which all successful businesses must do, but an elevated knowledge and experience transfer from person to person. And that's really what it's about. It's about having the buy and sell process. The buy and sales process just is elevated here. There's a direct knowledge and experience transfer from mind to mind, from person to person, that elevates the experience and transfers on this knowledge you're just not going to get at a store and dealing with regular retail salespeople. That's huge. So in a world of constant misinformation and disinformation, via the internet, and people who are not qualified to talk about topics, that haven't delved into it for years and years, you're going to have a lot of this misinformation and disinformation around. It's extremely important to have a network like this to have access to this information and the correct information, the truth, and then to make a decision. And I think that is really just the bottom line. The company I'm involved with is called Youngevity. So I choose Youngevity. They're the network marketing company I work with and am involved with on a daily basis. What do you choose? Maybe network marketing is for you. Thank you.